Hi, I'm going to show you how to make vasilopita, or Greek New Year's bread. It's traditionally made at the end of the year, and you put a coin in it, and whoever gets the coin when you serve the bread gets good luck for the rest of the year. So first, before you even start with the ingredients, you have to do the yeast. And in order to do that, you're going to put 1 cup of warmed milk with 1 teaspoon of sugar in with 2 packets of yeast. So you're going to want to heat up your milk. I'm putting this in a non-stick saucepan just to heat it up over the stove. So you're going to put this over the stove, and milk heats up pretty quickly, so you want to keep an eye on it. Just going to put it on low just for a couple seconds, maybe 30 seconds. Alright, and once it looks like it's heated up enough, you're going to put this back in your cup to make sure you don't burn yourself. That would not be good. And you're going to measure out 1 teaspoon of sugar. And then you put in your yeast. Alright, and you want to leave that to dissolve for 10 to 20 minutes. And while that happens, you're going to work on the rest of the dough. Alright, so you're going to take 7 cups of flour, which is quite a lot, but it is bread. I almost forgot. I gotta set a timer for this yeast. That's cup number 1. All the way up to cup number 7. As you can see, I ran out of flour just a little bit, but I think it's going to be alright. And because I ran out of flour a little bit at the end, I'm going to use some bread flour, which is going to make the bread rise a little bit more than it normally would, but it's only a little bit, so I think it's going to be alright. Alright. And along with your flour, you're going to be adding just a teaspoon of kosher salt. Alright. And 3/4 of a cup of flour, of salt, of sugar, and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. Alright, and after that, you make a well in the center of your mixture after you mix it up, and then you wait for about 7 more minutes for your yeast to finish. So it's been about 15-ish minutes, and this is what our yeast looks like right now. It's pretty bubbly, it's pretty risen, it's about doubled. I really should not have left this spoon in here though. Alright, so you're gonna pour your yeast mixture into this little well that you've got in your dough. Alright, so now that you've got the yeast in your flour mixture, you're gonna add 4 cups of beaten eggs, and I just went ahead and beat them off camera. You've got 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Alright. And 1 cup of milk. And this calls for 1 orange zest, you know, a full orange of zest. But we decided that it would be easier to just use just around, what is this, a teaspoon?
Oh, like a half a teaspoon.
Around half a teaspoon of orange zest, just from Penzies. And you mix that all together with your wooden spoon. And you mix. I had to get an apron on because this is pretty floury. Got 7 whole cups in here. This is why people only make this once a year. This is hard. This is a workout. So this dough is pretty sticky, and we decided it's better to switch from a wooden spoon to just my hands. So I'm gonna get some Pam, and I'm gonna spray my hands, and I'm gonna get in there. Alrighty. Okay, you can stop.
So, when my grandmother taught me how to do this, there was a certain way she would knead the dough. And, you know, you put a little flour so it doesn't stick, and this is really sticky, but you do it with your heels of your hands, press it in and it squishes,
Okay.
and you put it here and then you turn it. And you turn it, and you turn it, and it gets all mixed up. And it gets, I don't know what the kneading process does, but it's a very important process. Yeah, and it's a lot of work, so it builds up muscles. It's hard to push because it's thick.
It is.
And it's really sticky.
How did your 4'11" grandmother do this?
Well, you had the right counter height.
I guess so.
Should we put some on top?
No.
Okay.
We'll get it. Yep.
Alright, so we've been kneading this, we've been taking turns, because I do not have the proper muscle to do this on my own. Ugh. Alright, so we've got a washed bowl here. Our bowl is all clean. And you're going to put your dough in your bowl. Turn it over so that it's covered in the oil, or the spray, whatever you want to call it. And before we started baking, we heated the oven up a little bit. It's not on, the oven is off now, but when it rises, we're going to put it in the oven so that it rises a little better, a little faster. And you're gonna put that in there for a couple hours, 1 to 2 hours. I'm gonna cut this up.
You just let it drape.
Okay, I don't want it to get burnt.
It's not. Love is off. Remember?
Okay.
Did you want to show the dough in the bowl?
No, that's okay.
Okay. All right. I would just leave the door open for now.
Okay. And then it goes. And then you wait for about 2 hours. Alright. Look at that. It is definitely risen. That's a beautiful thing. Alright.
2.
So you're going to spray both of your pans. I don't know what. Traditionally, it's done in a round one, but the square one's better for toast. And if it's one thing about vasilopita, it makes the best toast in the world. So after you've got your pans, you're going to set them aside, and you want to punch down your dough. Oh, I don't know how to do this. I don't know. And then you cut your dough in half. I'm using I don't know what this really is, but it works. And you're gonna put them in your pans. And before you put your dough in the round one, the traditional one, you need to put your coin in, your lucky coin. Alright, so you're gonna cut your dough in half, and then once you get it out, you're gonna knead it some more for just around 10 minutes maybe. God. Goodness. This is a very sticky dough. You've gotta know that it's gonna be very sticky if you ever make this. But it is worth it. Oh. Alright, so I've got the first half kneaded all ready here. But before we put it in the pan, you've got to put the coin in, or else you're not going to be very lucky. There's not going to be any luck in the bread. So I'm just going to cut a little bit here. I'm going to stick it right in the middle. And whoever finds this is going to have a good rest of their year. What are we? Third into the year now? Have a good third of the year. Alright, and then I've got to knead the other half. And we'll be ready to move on to the next step. Alright, they've been resting for around an hour, a little over an hour. We're going to go ahead and take them out, and they have definitely grown.
Oh my! Oops, sorry. Mother editorial comment.
I think it was the bread flour. We had the same problem. I made bread a little while ago, and it also rose a lot. It's not the prettiest loaves of bread in the world, but I think it's going to taste really good. Alright, so you can, draw little designs into it if you want, but for this, I'm just going to put the egg wash on, which is just 1 scrambled egg, and then we're gonna put the sesame seeds on. then you just put them into bake, and then you're basically done. You've made vasilopita.
Did you stop recording?
No. So after they've baked for 10 minutes, you're gonna put the temperature down to 350 and bake them for another 30 minutes or until they're pretty brown on the top. All right, and we're just gonna take them out. They look really good. Like very done. Look at those.
What do you think, Dad? Just like Yaya used to make?
Just like I used to make. Man, those look good. Oh, they smell wonderful.
I want just to wait for them to cool, and then we will cut it.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing.
Okay, so how do I want to do this?
Well, there's lots of ways, but lots of different traditions. But the tradition that from my grandma, my grandparents, was on New Year's Day, everybody would come together as a family, and however many people there were there at the house that day, you would cut it into that many pieces. So if there's 30 people, you cut it into 30 pieces. Or we have 5, so we're going to cut it into 5. And, each piece then has, one in however many chances.
An equal chance to...
Right, to get the quarter, to get the coin, the luck. So, that's actually not going to work because that'll cut you into 8 pieces.
All right.
All right, I'm
You
going
need
to
a pointy knife.
focus in on the bread itself here.
And then there's other traditions too, because some people add extra pieces, as part of the faith thing.
House and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and so each family kind of made a little bit of their own rules of the
Greeks don't like rules.
custom. The idea is right. It's Saint Basil's Day, Aya Vasili, and so it's vasilopita. That's where the name comes from, and it's a holiday, and it's the celebration of the new year, and it's kind of a twist on it to have the good luck piece, which is makes it fun.
Yeah. And we go from oldest to youngest, right?
Correct. Right. I missed that. Right. So I guess Nita's the oldest. So you start with the knife in the middle.
Okay. Right there.
Right, and then you cut from there to the side. And hopefully you don't hit the coin.
Then we'll have to flip it to figure out whose it is.
Oh boy. It's a thick bread.
So now I don't know if you remember when Papu used to do it. He would kind of make a scratch on there so a quarter would be here.
Sorry.
4 pieces would be here. Well, 5 is a little bit less, so it's going to be, say there. So you kind of make a scratch. Or scratch it. Yeah, okay, and then make about the same size piece here.
Yeah.
So now you've got 2 pieces. And then about the same size, well, a little bit bigger. No, cool. Yeah. There.
Listen,
So now you got 1, 2, 3. And then we'll split this one in half. So you got that line and that line, so basically go in half.
Here?
Oh no, you've got right there.
Okay. I was right the first time.
Yeah. So now you go back to your score and you cut on that score right there.
I'm trying to see where my mark is.
Again, like you did, point all the way down. There you go.
Okay.
Now, does it come out? Did you cut all the way through?
I think so.
Yeah, redo that one. There you go.
Oh yeah, it's not cut all the way at the bottom. There it goes. There we go. Wait.
Oh, we didn't get any plates. I got it.
There you go. So that's the first piece. And the oldest person who happens to be here today is Anita.
Okay, thank you.
You okay?
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
No, it's got some
Gotta sharpen that
crust.
knife.
No, it's got some crust to it. Yeah, now you can probably use the other.
Oh, I cut through I was cutting through the coin.
Oh no!
No, it's in the next piece.
Oh, that's me! Like, man, this thread is really hard.
There's the coin.
Oh, there it is. My luck starts now.
This was not staged.
Of course.
No, it was
Pull
not.
out.
Well, you can see where the hole is.
Yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
And then
So basically split that in
Missed
half.
it by one.
Now, these are giant pieces.
yeah, we're not gonna
It's
eat all
about
of
We're
30
not
people.
going to eat all of this, is each person, but you kind of get the idea. And right, if it was a normal thing with, a big family, it would be. There you go.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bronya Pola.
Bronya Pola. Come on, Pola. Okay, I'm turning it off. Well done, Caroline.